Alright, hey everyone, my name is Springer, and today I'm going to be giving you a guide on Watchmen DPS, just basically going over the rotation, the spec, kind of what you want to stack in terms of stat priorities. You get your own choice on that, but this is going to be my build and what's working for me. So, like I said, I'm going up the Watchmen tree, which is all about the burns and the geo style. So, the burns, essentially it's a dot that ticks over time on your opponent that deals damage. You do this by two different ways. You have your skill Cauterize, which hits for an immediate damage and also ticks for 465 elemental damage over 6 seconds. The opposite of this on the Marauder side is known as Rupture. So essentially, Marauders and Sentinels are the exact same class. The only difference is that one does bleeds, one does burns, and one is Sith, one is Jedi. So they're essentially the same class, so if you have a Marauder and you're watching this, you can pretty much do the same thing. There's going to be no difference in what you want to build at all, exactly. So, like I said, if you've been watching the screen for a little bit, you kind of see what my basic build is. I'm putting 3 points into Focus Slash. It automatically refunds one focus whenever I use Slash, Dispatch, Blade Rush, or Merciless Slash. Really good to keep your focus up so that you're not ever running out when you absolutely need it. Quick Recovery just makes it so that your Force Sweep and Cyclone Slash, which are the only AoE abilities that we actually have on the in the Sentinel side, it makes sure that they're constantly being able to be used and never on cooldown, or you're never running out of focus while using them. Second tier, I go with Merciless Zeal. There's some people that say that the inflammation is better just because it gives Cauterize a 100% chance to slow your target speed. I feel this is more of a PvP stance, and unless you're going against mobs that you want to kite, this is not really the best choice. I go with Merciless Zeal because it heals you for 2% of your maximum health every time your burns crit, which is very good considering your Zen, while in Geo form, causes an instant crit on all burns, 100% chance at crits. Then, of course, you want to go with Geo Mastery if you're going to be in Geo, which is all about your burn effects. It's probably good to have this. It increases all burns by 3% to crit, which is very good. On the third tier, you have to go with all of them. Lowers Force Leap, which is going to be one of your your focus generators in the later game. Overload Saber, which this is your other burn plier. So it basically takes the next 3 successful melee attacks. So not anything like Dispatch, not Blade Storm, not Force Stasis. Anything basically that causes a direct hit with your lightsaber will proc the effect of Overload Saber. Now, it burns up to 300 elemental damage over 6 times, but it stacks up to 3 times. The way this works I'll explain later, but you want to be able to maintain those stacks, but also keep them apart relatively. Then, of course, Searing Saber, which just increases the critical strike damage of your burn effects by 30%. This is a surge increase. The stat surge, which increases the damage of your crit strikes by a certain amount, and that it's just very good for that. On the fourth tier, I go Repelling Blows, increases the direct damage by Cauterize. Close Quarters, like I said, your Force Leap is going to end up being one of your 2 main focus builders. This makes it so you can do it instant range. There's no range in between your Force Leap and the opponent, or your charge and your opponent. And then, of course, Valor increases your centering, which is the main mechanic of all Sentinels. Whether you're going Watchmen, Combat, or Focus, centering is your main build order. And also reduces the cooldown of Valorous Call by 30 seconds. Valorous Call instantly increases all your centering stacks, so you can activate Zen, Inspiration, or Transcendence at a will. On the 5th tier, losing track here, I go with Mind Seer, and I go with Force Fade. Force Fade reduces all damage taken by 100% while in Force Camouflage. This talent might actually be bugged for right now. I've had times where I'll be in Force Camo, and I'll be taking, I think, 50% damage. So I think it's only working at about half of what it's supposed to be. Not exactly sure right now. I need to do more tests. Mindseer is a passive ability that Slash causes 33% chance, and Merciless Slash has a 66% chance to finish the cooldown on Cauterize. So the more you use Slash or Merciless Slash, the more Cauterizes you get. You're not going to be really using Slash much in your rotation unless you're running out of focus, which you shouldn't be. Shouldn't being the key word, I somehow find a way. The one I don't put into is Transcendence Speed, or Focus Pursuit. This is alright if you're in an operation and requires a lot of raid movement. This is very good because Transcendence is a raid-wide cooldown. Now, on the 6th tier, I gotta make sure I'm counting right. I'm horrible at math, or numbers. Plasma Blade increases the damage dealt by your burn effects by 6%. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Burning Focus, your burns have a 30% chance to generate 1 focus while dealing damage. So the more uptime you have on your burns, the more focus you're generating. Hopefully, you're getting the right RNG rolls on that, and dealing more damage. Obviously, the last is one of the last mechanics, part of the class, which is Merciless Slash. So it strikes for a certain amount of damage, and then every time you strike, it gives you a stack of Merciless. Merciless decreases the cooldown of your Merciless Slash by 1.5 seconds up to 3 times. So you always want to have Merciless up to 3 stacks as often as possible. Now, this is just the Watchman tree, which has 31 points. I end up putting the last 10 points in the combat tree. Putting in defensive forms reduces internal and elemental damage taken by 4% when you're in Juyo form, which is just, in general, great. Dual Wield Mastery increases the damage dealt with your offhand lightsaber attacks by 36%. Hands down, one of the best talents to get in all of the Sentinel classes. Focus Leap, 100% chance to generate 1 extra focus. Like I said, this is going to be your main, or one of your main focus generators. It's just a good thing to have. And then with me, I went with Steadfast because it increases accuracy, and accuracy isn't the most important stat, but it's better than the other 2 options at this tier, and even the option at the first tier for this. And there's not really anything on the focus tree that really does anything for you, only because focus is more about the PvP side of thing and focusing on your main abilities that you get from like level 10. So that's essentially the setup for the skill tree. If you want to check over on, I got Torhead up here. This is the basic layout of the tree. It's essentially the same thing for the Marauder. So this is a Marauder / Sentinel guide. They're the same trees. It's just in Annihilation, you want to get the exact same stuff. So you know, Deep Wound, Pulverize, yada yada yada, all the way getting to Annihilate, and then same thing with your Carnage instead of Combat. Just better stuff. I forgot. I go Force Leap into an Overload Saber Zealous Strike. That way I get my first burnout instantly, and I still have 1 focus, so I'm at 7. You want to follow up with a Merciless Slash, which I didn't because I was, for some reason, inebriated. From Merciless Slash, I usually go into a Slash or a Master Strike. Master Strike is very good at getting the last 2 bits of procs, or your burns, out through Overload Saber. Once I'm finished with that, I usually go with Cauterize. I usually should have enough focus for that at that point. And if your opponent can take it, or can actually get stasis, use Force Stasis whenever you can. It's a good just damage ability, and also builds focus every second. So that's good. And then it's just repeat from there. It's a priority. So the priority you want to do is Zealous Strike up? No. Take that back. Sorry. Do you have focus? Yes. use Merciless Strike if it's up. If it's not up, use Cauterize. If Cauterize is not up, use Master Strike. If Master Strike is not up, use Blade Storm. You round what you should want to be doing. If that's not up, use Slash. If at the last resort, use Slash. So those are for focus generators, or for focus takers. Focus generators is Zealous Strike up. Yes, use Zealous Strike. If not, use Force Leap. If your opponent can be Force Stasis, use Force Stasis. Now, the final thing is Zen, or your centering stacks. What do you want to be using centering on? If you're doing soloing stuff, I recommend doing Zen. It increases all critical strike chance of your burn effects by 100%, like I said earlier, and heals your party for 1% health each tick. It's very good. That means you as well. It's very good. If you're in a group scenario that requires a lot of movement and a lot of raid damage, I'd use Transcendence. Increases movement speed by 50% and also melee and range defense by 10%. It's a good defensive cooldown. It's party-wide. And the last thing is Inspiration. Inspiration is, if any of you know Bloodlust or Heroism in the World of Warcraft, this is essentially your version of Heroism / Bloodlust. It increases all damage and healing done by 15%. Raw. That's all party members, all damage, all healing, 15% instantly for 15 seconds. I usually save Valorous Call for Inspiration. It's a very good thing. Alright, again, I don't know the abilities for the Marauders, but just line it up with the Marauder stuff, because this is the exact same stuff on the Annihilation tree for the Marauder. I'm sorry I couldn't get a lot more gameplay. I'm just going to attack this guy one more time, going through what my rotation is, and try to get him down really fast one last time. So, here we go.
You may experience some discomfort.
Okay, yeah, there we go. That worked perfectly. So I got almost a full rotation in. It went from Force Leap to Overload Saber to Zealous Strike to Merciless Slash to Master Strike, Cauterize, Force Stasis, and then I was able to really just go from there what I wanted to do. I ended up redoing Overload Saber into a Force Leap, which does proc Overload Saber. And I would have finished it off with a Zealous Strike, but my burns killed it. So, hey, thank you guys for watching my Watchmen DPS guide. Please like and favorite the video if you did like it. Comment down below. Tell me what I did right. Tell me what I need to work on. This is my very first guide doing anything. I plan to do more stuff in the future. I have an operative that I'm trying to get to level 50. I have a trooper, and I'm going to be making one of every class going through to hopefully get some stuff out to you guys. I also want to do some encounter guides, so if you can tell me what you want to see, hopefully I'll have it out. So, thank you for watching.